right. I'm here to serve my customers. We'll choose some nice colors for you. I think that's something we should talk about. I think I did have 267C for the first ever record that I manufactured.
Okay.
Is that Pantone? Yeah.
Good.
I know Pantone.
That's right.
Hello, my name is Ulrich. Thanks for stopping by. How can I help you? Oh, thanks. Sorry, I gotta take this. Yeah, thank you. So I just had a great pleasure of supporting Stars in Dublin, and I'm gonna have a little chat with my friend Owen, who's sitting over there.
Okay, so you're here in Ireland for like a short stopover. So tell me how your evening has gone from what you've done, and then from what you've listened to afterwards.
Well, I just did the thing that I'm usually doing, which is pressing buttons and turning knobs and trying to turn that into music somehow. And after that, I was experiencing Stars live for the first time in my life, which was a great pleasure. And for me, the main purpose to do this trip. So.
How do you feel physically?
I'm actually alright because I had I think that's what you call a power nap.
Cool, yeah.
And I'm feeling alright. I'm feeling a bit intimidated by this guy, but
I don't know what that is.
I think he's smiling now. Might be alright.
So tell me about what you were doing last night. You ended up having to play, of course, but...
Last night I did another secret support slot for Asobi Saxo. They played in London a night called Sonic Cathedral. Soundpool played there as well, and Fleeting Joys were supposed to play, but unfortunately they couldn't make it, and so I stepped in and did a support slot for Asobi, which was very nice. Well, the thing I do enjoy the most is basically like last night, because apart from playing live, I'd also DJ'd after Asobi had finished, because occasionally Sonic Cathedral has like a late license, so if the bands finish at midnight, there's another 2 hours just to go on partying basically, and I just play a mixture of like new gaze and old school shoegaze classic, which always goes down really well there, because it's a very good crowd, yesterday was particularly great actually. People were dancing and that was really good fun.
Cool. And you played recently in London, and the crowd reaction was pretty good there as well. How did you feel after that?
Well, I mean, are you talking about that headline show in London? Yeah. Well, I was just really grateful that the reaction was that positive, because that was the first headline gig I played in London for 1.5 years, I think, and you always have a bit of a weird stomach feeling if you haven't played for such a long time in the city and you don't know if people are still going to be into it, and so that was a very nice experience. And especially with the new live setup, which I think is a lot more interesting than the stuff that I used to do in the past, which was basically just playing backing tracks of the computer and a little bit of keyboard on top. I'm now able to kind of improvise with the material, because it's all like split up into little loops and that I can play around with, and that's a much more rewarding way for me to play.
In terms of your own career, with 3 albums behind you, where do you feel you're going to next?
Well, I have a pretty, clear vision or whatever you want to call it, in what sort of direction I want to go musically. I mean, it's always a bit difficult to describe it, obviously, but what I would say is I think I've taken that kind of idea of focusing on songwriting while still keeping an electronic instrumentation. I've kind of took that as far now as I can take it, and I'd like to change structurally a bit to something that leaves a bit more room for exploring sounds, and probably things that are a bit sparser, that leave a bit more room for individual elements to develop. So I think it's always kind of the process. It takes a long time to build something up, and then you kind of almost finish it, and then I like the idea of destroying it all again and restarting at zero again. I've done that a couple of times already. So I mean, when I did Faraway Trains, that was pretty much a similar situation as well, because I was producing drum and bass for the 8 years before that, and I just kind of threw that whole thing away and restarted. And I think that's just a healthy thing to do that every once in a while, just to make sure that you don't get trapped in a routine too much.
What do you think of the sounds that are happening right now?
Do
you like that?
actually really do. But it sounds totally. I couldn't even tell what it is. Is that like a street train or?
It's like a bottle cleaner or something.
Sounds great.
I want to also ask you about I mean, it's obviously not now, but you've been obviously quite busy quite recently because there's a lot of remixes coming out and a lot of collaborations. So I'd like you to talk about a few of those as well that you've done quite recently.
Yeah, I just did a mail out about these remixes actually, so I've got a good memory of what it might be. So I mean, what is that? Mahogany, Asobi Sexu, High Violets, Dragons, which is like a Levitation follow-up band, Televise, which is Simon from Slowdive's band, and there's a couple more things. Madrid, which is a good band from Canada. I think that's probably about it. Yeah, and there's a couple more things coming out. I think early next year, maybe some. Yeah.
And so, what is the activity like with Longview right now? What's the future for that?
Well, we had a bit of a difficult year, I think, with the band because the old drummer left this spring, and then also most of the guys moved from Manchester to London, which was a bit of an operation as well. But that's all done, and we had the opportunity to play an Club AC30 Christmas show in December, and we basically said, okay, we just started really rehearsing with a new drummer, but we're just going to try to set something up in a really short time frame just to make sure we don't get lazy and we get into the routine of playing and rehearsing again. And that's the first thing we're going to do, December the 15th, play AC30, and we're trying to do like a limited 7-inch or a little CDR with some new stuff for that as well.
And can you speak at all about the manual project? You've been working on that quite hard.
Well, I haven't really been working that hard on it, which is a bit of a shame. Jonas has been working really hard on it, and I think it's mainly my part that's still lacking a bit. I need to record a lot of synth stuff for it, and I really like the direction in which it is going now, because I think we've both changed musically quite a bit during these last 2 years in which we were working on that EP, and we've started something which sounded quite cheerful and happy, I guess, kind of like in the old more music style a little bit, if you want to say so. And through the process of working on that stuff, most of these things have got a bit of a different edge now. So some of the stuff has got a bit of a darker edge. Some of the stuff, I think you can hear probably Jonas like stoner rock, Kauzasui influence on those things, and I think it's good. It's actually good that it took us so much time, because it now has like several levels, the project, rather than just being a very mono-dimensional thing. That's good.
And just to finish, what is your diary like for the next year, touring and working wise?
I just want to try not to do too much touring, and if it's touring, I'd rather tour with Longview than doing too much solo shows. But I will do like a small European tour, because the album's going to be released hopefully next spring in Europe as well, rather than just UK and America. And around that release date, I do like a European tour. And besides that, I'm really excited and looking forward to working on new music, basically, which I didn't have the time for quite a while now. So that's going to be interesting.
Cool. Can we go back to your typing of emails? Did we get the